Do you want to know how to make killer thumbnails like the one you just clicked on? Watch this video to learn what program I use to make thumbnails, the tips and frameworks I use to make my thumbnails, and if you stick with me until the end, I'll show you step by step how I create a thumbnail with that cool blurry background in less than 15 minutes. I'm Dom, your copywriting, content creating friend. Thanks for coming back. This is the fourth and final part of the How I Create Podcasts from My Bedroom series. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 3, go back for me, please. Check those out and then come back to check this one out. And if you've already seen 1 through 3, great. Let's jump into how I make those thumbnails. So first, the program. The program that I use to make thumbnails is Canva. Very easy to use. There's free plans, there's paid plans. You might be thinking, why would I need Canva? Outside of the obvious, to make thumbnails. You could use Canva for other marketing, other content collateral. If you, say, make a YouTube podcast, the little banner part, you could make that with YouTube. Again, all the thumbnails, Canva makes it super easy. And they have like templates. So you don't have to manually like make your picture or document a certain size. They'll just naturally resize it for you. Not all programs do that. It's great that they do. All right. And the step-by-step, we'll actually use Canva to make a thumbnail with a free plan and with a paid plan. Okay, and so some tips and frameworks that I use to make thumbnails. Okay, so a really basic way, because I mean, there's no really other way to say, like, I make the thumbnails I make by stealing them. Like, I don't actually steal them, but I steal inspiration for them. That might be better. So I keep a swipe file of thumbnails. Actually, I do three things. First, I keep a swipe file of thumbnails. Part of it is in my Notion gallery. Another part of it is just in my phone gallery. If I see a cool YouTube video that I like a thumbnail that's really interesting, I'll just screenshot it. That way I can come back and look at it later, hopefully get some inspiration from that, right? The second thing I'll do is I'll look at my YouTube history. So I'll just look at the last few videos that I clicked on. Why were they interesting? What were they about? What's in the thumbnail that, kind of drew my attention? And I'll just work backwards from those, right? And then the third thing I'll do is I'll look to kind of industry leaders or personal like internet mentors, people whose thumbnails that I really, really like, right? So I look at like Alex, Layla Hermosi, their thumbnails. I look at Minority Mindsets thumbnails, The Hill, Think Media, Vanessa Lau. Yeah, those, just to name a few. And since I mentioned those industry leaders, those examples, I did jot down a couple of things that I noticed between all of those videos or all of those creators' thumbnails that they kind of have in common, right? So for Think Media, they actually have a like 2-minute thumbnail tutorial, so that is cool. I think I want to say Nolan did that one. It's really cool. So that one just had like no more than 3 elements, that you should be one of those elements, and then the text should be no more than like 3 to 5 words, right? I checked out a couple of Vanessa Lau's videos, and what I got from those were text about 3 to 5 words, that it should be scannable text. And she mentions to use like basic fonts for those, like Montserrat. That's actually why I use the Montserrat font in my thumbnails. And then she also had no more than three elements, right? So minority mindset, a couple from his backgrounds are pretty solid, like a general solid color. Um, the fonts and text are scannable and bold. Um, and that it always has his face somewhere in the face of the host. And then lastly, the hill. Theirs is easily scannable, so usually less than 4 or 5 words, and it always has at least the face of one of the hosts. So those are kind of frameworks and things that I think about when I'm creating thumbnails. All right, and last but not least, let's actually make a couple thumbnails. And if you were following along with our examples, or our example from 1 through 3, the copywriter's handbook, that's what we're going to continue with now. So first, I'm going to pause this video really quick so that I can take a picture of the cover, just a regular quick picture, and get it onto my computer. Should take just a moment. Okay, so now that I have that there, and part of the frameworks mentioned like a face of the host, so give me a quick moment. Let me take a picture of myself so we can use that for the thumbnails. All right, let's make that thumbnail on Canva. All right, so this is the free account from Canva. Once you put in your email and set up your account, you'll get to this basic page. So let's just go ahead and get started. We'll start here, create a design at the top right. And for this one, since we are creating a YouTube thumbnail, we'll just type in thumbnail, and the YouTube thumbnail is the first one to pop up. See, it already has like the preset sizing, which is fantastic because having to resize it sucks. Trust me. Okay. And we're going to ignore this one. It's just going to ask me if I want to open the Canva app. I do have the Canva app installed in or on my computer, but that one is connected to my paid account. And this one, I'm using a free account, so I'm just going to click no on that one and show it to you online so it doesn't affect my logged in one. Okay, so I'll go to uploads. And I uploaded a photo of myself earlier. If you didn't upload, or to upload one of yourself, you'll click this here, upload files. You'll find your picture, whichever one, and I'm just gonna say that one. And lastly, we will upload the one for our book. Okay, great. Actually, I'm just gonna do one more, that one. That way I'm looking crazy at the camera and not down away from the camera. And we'll do that one. We'll do crazy eyes. And we're just going to make it fit the entire screen size. Okay, and then we'll just pull this out and put it there. That's me in the photo. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna go back. I'm going to delete this and let's blur it out first. So you click on your photo, click on edit image, and background remover, no, I'm sorry, blur down here. We'll just increase the intensity. You can choose whatever intensity you want. The higher your intensity, the more it's going to blur. And I like to make a larger brush size just to make it easier to blur out everything. Actually, sorry, I'm going to start with a smaller one and then go around the edge of my body first. And you do have to manually go around. If you are using the free one, it's a little easier to do if you're doing the paid one. I personally believe that the paid version of Canva is way more than worth it. And if you unclick the mouse, it's going to just blur everything that you've already highlighted in purple, which is kind of done around my head. I'm going to increase the brush size and just go through. And get everything else. All right, everything's blurry. All right, and then we're just going to go back to uploads. We're going to add our book photo back in again. Make it a little smaller. I think I'm going to move it over just a little bit because there's always like little icons and things on the side. And I don't want the book to be covered. And then lastly, just going to add some text. Let's go. I usually use like I think it's something neon. I might not have neon on here. So I'm just going to use this one. And let's make it Montserrat. Okay, let's change the color to white. Make it all a little bit smaller. We're just going to say copywriting. Just gonna copy and paste those. Sometimes they can get a little wonky when they're all together. And there we have it. That is our thumbnail. Less than 15 minutes. All right, so that was the free one. Let's switch on over and do the paid. Okay, so this is my logged in, my personal paid Canva account. And let's go ahead and make that thumbnail. We'll upload our photo like we did last time. And just so we're making a new one, let's see, I think I did crazy eyes last time. Let's try serious Dom. And also the cover photo. And I want to show you how to do the cool blurry one with a paid account because it's so much easier. So first you'll make your photo the right size. And this is the thumbnail size that we chose before. The reason I didn't have to choose it with this one is because this is actually already a document. So when you have a paid account or a free account, if you make thumbnails, you can make multiple pages in one document. So, for example, this is page 7. Now, that is super useful because then you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of different documents floating around. You could just have one document, which is what I do. I have it thumbnail master, right? Then I don't have to look through documents when I want to find a thumbnail that I did for a particular video. I can just scroll up and down, and if I have to make any changes, they're pretty quick and simple from one document. Canva also allows you to like save your files separately, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So for the blurry thumbnail, first we'll click on the thumbnail and then we'll click on edit image. When you have the paid account, this is an option, background remover. Before you do that, we're just going to duplicate our photo. Yep. And then on the photo in the front, we're going to remove the background. Just the one in the front. And you should notice the background has disappeared. On the one in the back, we're going to blur that one. On the other one, on the free one, we use this brush, but we also have the option to do whole image, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do 70, like 70. I think that one's pretty good. And that's it. I'm sorry, last step. Your photo that is the one with the background moved, just place it on top of the other one. Then we're going to throw in our book photo. And lastly, our text. It didn't show it on the free account, but this is the one that I usually use. It's out of focus. Okay, so I was wrong. It is not out of focus. It is neon sign. That's the one that I usually use, and we're just going to go copy, writing, and we're going to do the same thing that we did for the last one. Make this smaller. repeat a couple times. Actually, let me change the font first to Montserrat, then we'll copy. Of course. All right, and there we go. Let's just make this one a little different. Why not yellow? Can we do yellow? I mean, you can't really see it, but it works. And that's it. So after you're done with your thumbnail, whether it's free or paid, you'll click on File and then scroll down to Download. And this is what I meant by the multiple pages in here. If you have one page, you won't have to worry about this. You'll press download and just move on about your day. But if you have multiple pages that you have with different thumbnails, click on this button here, all pages. Make sure to unselect all pages. That way you will not download them all. And make sure to click the page that you want. This is the current page, page 7, so we'll do that one. And we'll click Done and Download. So when you download them, you'll have to create a file and a save space for them. What I do, which I would recommend that you do, I have a specific folder titled thumbnail photos that I keep all of my thumbnails in, right? Then I just have a folder inside that called completed thumbnails. And this is where I save all of my thumbnails that I later will upload to YouTube. And that's it. That's done. Shout out to all the creators that I mentioned earlier who helped make this video possible, plus Canva as well. Check out all of the links and descriptions or links in the description. And if you want to go deeper with content creation, check out this video here.